It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer, and this is episode F157. Hey, let's get into the words. The first word is the suffix of the word fold. You're saying it at the end of a word. We've seen this a number of times in various examples. Let's see. Number one, multiplied by, and then by what? A specified number. And then also times. Times multiplied by, same thing. This is in adjectives and adverbs. An example for adjectives would be a sixfold increase. That increase is sixfold. That increase was multiplied by 6. And then adverbs, the example is repay you tenfold. I am repaying you in a certain method, in a certain way, and that method is tenfold. I am paying you back 10 times more than what you gave me. You gave me $1, I'm giving you $10. That's a pretty good investment. Number 2, having parts. The parentheses says so many, so it's having so many parts. The so many is the amount of times, the amount of parts. Like in our example, threefold aspect of the problem. Okay, so the problem has so many parts to the problem. It has three parts, 3 problems to the problem. So it's a threefold aspect of the problem. 3 aspects to the problem, and we shall list them out to you. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, that's another way to say fold. Yeah, I don't feel like I've heard it used that way so much. Let's see. The etymology doesn't say a whole lot. It's kind of just from the suffix fold, which is what it is, so that's great. Now, my sound effect is going to be a little bit weird today. I guess I'll describe it later. I'm going to go... and it's going to change. Next, we have fold away. One word, adjective from 1948. This is designed to be folded for storage or portability, as in fold away doors, also a fold away bed, and another one, a fold away table. The table, the bed, and the doors can be all folded away to make room for other stuff, especially the bed. That bed has a specific name. Well, there's the bed that goes up into the wall. That's, I think, called a Murphy bed. There's also, I like to say, a hideaway bed. That's what I grew up with. When it's a couch that turns into a bed, it's a transformer. That was a bad one. So yeah, fold away. It's a table. You can fold it away and take it with you for a picnic, for whatever you want, camping. That's a fold away table. Fold away. I am fold away. You can fold me and put me in a suitcase and take me to an exotic location, and then we will have a vacation. Okay, sound effect. Let's do another one. Ching, 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 ching. Next is fold boat. One word, noun from 1938. A small collapsible canoe made of rubberized sailcloth stretched over a framework. It's a translation of the German Faltboot. I think it's the same thing. It's a fold boat. So it's a collapsible canoe. So you actually take this rubberized sailcloth off of the canoe, and then the pieces of the canoe collapse down? Oh man, I need to see a picture of this one. A fold boat. Why have I never heard of this fold boat? Are we still using fold boats? What year? It was from 1938. Fold boat. Yeah, I mean, this one, this example is not a canoe. It's like a little rowboat. Yeah, I guess, people, engineers have been doing some pretty interesting sciencey things with figuring out how to make stuff collapsible and foldable and portable. Not everybody can take a boat with them, so you need a fold boat. Fold boat. Oh, let's try and do another sound effect. I might have to resort to not mouth sound effects at some point. Plum, plum, plum. Next, we have folder, noun from 1552. Number 1, one that folds. Number 2, a folded printed circular. And I believe this is a folded printed circular. So I imagine this is kind of like a flyer. Because it's circulating around the world. You're handing them out on the street corner. And it's folded, so it's a folder. But also, we have number 3A, a folded cover or large envelope for holding or filing loose papers. Everybody needs a folder. When you're in school, you need folders. Sometimes when you're an adult, you need folders. You need to hold your papers in a folder. And because the material is a little bit harder than the paper, and so it's going to protect it a little bit better. But also, you just need a place to organize your papers. Otherwise, you got them all over the place. Like me, I got papers over here. I got papers over there. I got papers all over the place. Maybe I should get some folders. No, that's too organized. I only want to be semi-organized. Now, we got 3B, an organizational element of a computer operating system used to group files or other folders together. And of course, we go back to 3A. It's called a folder because it has been folded. It's got a front and a back. You put the stuff in the middle, clapping my hands like the folder. I'm holding the things in my hand folder. But then, of course, we took that idea into the digital world. And I'm crazy for computer folders. I make all the folders I need. So many folders. I must have made millions of folders in my day because you got to be organized. So, you got to make a folder, and then you got to make some subfolders, and maybe some more subfolders. This podcast has a lot of folders because there is a folder for every episode. There is a folder for each letter. Oh, actually, before you even get to each letter, when you're going up a level from the episodes, there is a folder for episodes F1 through 50. That's one folder. And then there's a separate folder for 51 to 100, and so on and so on. And then there's a folder for each letter. And then if you look at all the other letters, same folder structure, E, 1 through 50. And then in there's a folder for each folder, or folder for each episode. And sometimes there's even additional folders in there. Like my audio files come in folders as well. Folder, 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 folder. Moving on to... Oh, what's another sound effect? I don't know what that is. Next, we have folderol. 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 You could also spell it Falderal. So you're just replacing the O's with the A's. This is a noun from circa 1820. Number 1, a useless ornament or accessory. And the synonym is trifle, just random crap around. It's useless. It's an ornament. You're putting it on, on top of the mantle above your fireplace, but it has no point. Maybe you like it. That's okay. Number 2, the synonym is equally unimportant. It's the word nonsense. It's just bleh, nonsense. Who cares about this folderol? I have to point out that there is a They Might Be Giants song which uses this word folderol in the lyrics. It is the song Metal Detector, and of course I had to look this up because I couldn't remember the song title. It is on their album Factory Showroom. The song is Metal Detector, and I was reading the lyrics beforehand and starting to sing the song, but then I sort of stopped and I lost the melody. Otherwise, I would sing the line for you. But the line is, I shall say it, ignore the mountain of discarded folderol. So it's just this. It's like because you're doing the metal detector on the beach, and you're finding all of this random crap when you're using the metal detector at the beach. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you don't care about. So it's nonsense. It's trifles. It's folderol. That's what it is. It's a very good use of a not very commonly used word. They might be giants. Good for you. This word is from. It's from a triple hyphenated word, fol de rol, which is a nonsense refrain in songs. Oh, interesting. I think maybe I need to put a link in the show notes for an example of this nonsense refrain in songs, fol de rol. And then, as people just heard that phrase that they knew it meant nonsense, then they started using it for actual nonsense. I think this podcast maybe is a little bit of a folderol. It's a little nonsense, but it's also incredibly educational and the most silly. Okay, let's make another sound effect. I'm trying to think. Let's try. There we go. I'm hitting the music stand. Next word is folding. Adjective from the 15th century. This is capable of being folded into a more compact shape. And remember, it's an adjective, so we have examples. Something that everybody has dealt with at some point in their life. The first example is folding chairs. I have opened and collapsed so many folding chairs in my life. Also, a folding door. I don't see a lot of folding doors. I guess, they fold in the middle. But I'm trying to think of like a specific example where I see a folding door. Those are not as common as folding chairs. Let's see. Anything else for folding? Nope. I am still not a folding person, even though I said I'm fold away. I don't consider myself a folding human. Next is folding money. Noun from circa 1930. The synonym is paper money. And yes, you can fold paper. Sometimes people will fold their paper money into origami structures and things, but then you gotta unfold it when you want to pay for something. Folding money. Yeah, I don't feel like I hear that so much. I mean, I don't really hear paper money either, but that's, when we're distinguishing between paper money and coin money and, credit card money, digital money, whatever, I hear paper money more, paper currency. But yeah, folding money, I don't know. Maybe this is a thing that the old people say. I need my folded money so I can go to the craps tables. Another sound effect. Next is fold out. One word, noun from 1950. A folded leaf in a publication, like a book, that is larger in some dimension than the page, as in a fold-out map. That's always very cool when you come across something that folds out. I don't think this book has any fold-out pages. But yes, maps, that's probably the most common example. I wonder if that big dictionary has any fold-out maps. But yes, you get to the map, and then it's like, wait, this map is too big for the size of the book. Well, you've got to fold it out. Maybe it's one fold. Maybe it's two folds. Maybe it's three folds. What? That's a big map. Maybe there's some versions of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit that have a fold-out map, so you can see the map. The map is very important to the Lord of the Rings Hobbit world. Nope, I don't think there's any fold-out things here. Let's see. Of course, I mean, we're talking about pages that are too big for a publication. We would be remiss if we did not mention the it has another name though, which I can't think of at the moment, but there's, in the sexy magazines, there's often a fold-out page so you can see a very large image of a sexy person. Whatever magazine or type of person you like to look at. If you like to look at them at all. Next, okay, sound. Um, Literally just anything I can think of is what is going in this episode. Because the next word is Foley with a capital F, Foley. Noun from 1984. Now, I would have thought that this was older than that. The definition is older, but I guess the use of this word for the definition, for the action, is much older. Or sorry, is the word is only from 1984. The action is old. So this is sound effects created for a film, as in a Foley artist. Can you imagine your job being the person who makes the sound effects for a film? What a lot of people may not realize is that there are certain shots in a movie that either they can't use the sound or they are not recording sound, because then you have to have a whole audio team or an audio person to record, and it's makes it more expensive, and or maybe the conditions aren't very good to get good audio, whatever it is. Sometimes you need to add sound effects. The common one is footsteps, and of course, but there's so many things, and I've seen like video or pictures of these Foley artists in their studio, and they'll watch the video, they'll watch the film, they'll watch the thing, and then they will have all the things that they need, and they will create the sound effects in time to the thing that is being done. It's probably a little bit easier and faster for them to do it in time, for like a chunk of a scene or a whole scene. Sometimes there's multiple people doing it at once, opposed to you could do a little bit at a time. You could like do one action, do a number of takes for it, and then the editor would time it appropriately. And that might be a little bit more of a time-intensive thing. But anyway, there are lots of ways to go about it. And of course, their studios have, different types of flooring, and just like random objects and things just to make any sort of weird sound. I think the typical one is like they're like smashing a head of lettuce for like a punch sound, because a punch sound doesn't sound enough like a punch sound, so you got to make a fake sound that we now think sounds like a punch sound. Punch in my hand, it's okay, but when you smack a head of lettuce, it sounds much more impactful. I can make some footsteps. Are you even hearing that on the microphone? I can take the microphone and I can sort of aim it down. There. That was I did some Foley artisting. That's how they use those words. Where did this word Foley come from? From Jack D. Foley, who was an American sound technician who died in 1967. And I assume he was just doing a lot of this. Was he the one who was like, we could make all these sounds in a little sound stage, and then you can name this after me. Almost 20 years after I die. Oh, Jack Foley, have a drink for Jack Foley, because we now have wonderful sound effects to things. It would be fun to just like try it for a day. There's a part of me that wants to, if I ever had the time, which I definitely don't now, but if my life allowed for it, it would be cool to like try a thing, learn a skill, try a job for like a month and do that. And I don't know, record it, put it out there in the world or whatever. I think it would be fun to just do that and sort of see the process. Obviously, I would be doing the process. And then, periodically just do a new thing, new job. Like be a Foley artist for a month or even a couple of weeks. Do some other random job for a month. Because it's like I don't get to experience so much of the world because I have such a tiny little insular life. I would like to experience all that other stuff, which is part of the reason why I want to do acting in the future, because I feel like you get to try so many things and do things and have experiences when you're an actor. Guess I gotta work on that. Okay, let's make another crazy friggin' sound effect. Choo-choo! Next is foliaceous. Foliaceous. I hope that the Foley artists are using this word in some way. It's not connected to the Foley work at all, but foliaceous. Ooh, that sound effect you made was so foliaceous. It is spelled Foliaceous. Adjective from 1658. It is of, relating to, or resembling an ordinary green leaf as distinguished from a modified leaf. And examples of the modified leaf are a petal, a bract, or a scale. So those are different types of leaves, but they are not your ordinary green leaf. They are petal like on a flower, different types of things that are coming off of a plant growing thing, and so they are foliaceous. Let's see, this word is from the Latin folium, or the Foli from folium, which means leaf, and then the acius, which just means aceous in English, which is a suffix. I guess we had that in the A's way back then over here by this hand. All right, next. Oh, can he think of another sound effect that he can maybe make with his mouth or something? I can't make a chain sound. I always think of chains. Ooh, let's do a chainsaw. Next is foliage. This is a noun from 1598. Foliage, that's another way to say it. Foliage or foliage. Some people swap the L and the I and they say foliage. It's similar to foible. So, number 1 for foliage, a representation of leaves, flowers, and branches for architectural ornamentation. If you want your building to have flowery, planty-looking things on it, you can add some of that ornamentation in whatever type of building material you're using. Carved wood, cement, gold leaf, whatever. It's foliage. But also, number 2, the aggregate of leaves of one or more plants. So, all of the leaves together on one or more plants, those are called the foliage. It's not the plant itself, it's the leaves, which is why in the previous word was foliaceous, because it was all about leaves. Leaves me alone. Number 3, a cluster of leaves, flowers, and branches. So this one, in whatever context this one's being used in, we have expanded the definition of foliage to not just be about the leaves, but it's also the flowers and the branches, but not the stems or the trunks. Sorry, you cannot call those foliage. Never, ever. This word is from the Middle French foille, F-O-I-L-L-E. Foille? I don't know how to say it. That means leaf. And there's more at the word foil, which that was in the previous episode and the one before that. Okay, now it is time to... Oh, no, wait. Foliaged, with an ed at the end, that is an adjective, and we have usage information. Maybe this is going to have to do with those funny pronunciations that we saw there. Foliage, that's only 2 syllables. Foliage, and also foliage. So, usage information. The disyllabic pronunciation foliage, 2 syllables, is very common. Some commentators insist that foliage requires a trisyllabic pronunciation because of its spelling, but words of a similar pattern such as carriage and marriage do not fall under their prescription. The pronunciation foliage is disapproved because it suggests the transposition of the L and I in the spelling. It is not as common as foliage and may be associated with the non-standard spelling foliage, F-O-I-L-A-G-E. So that's, I don't even think that was in here at all. That would have been in the previous episode. Yeah, foliage wasn't in here. But yes, if you are going to spell it that way, you shall pronounce it that way. You shall, it shall be done. But yes, that is not typically how it is done. I wonder why people do this. Who's doing this? What is the purpose? Are they just dyslexic? Is this a generational family thing that you're like, nope, in this family, we spell foliage, F-O-I-L-A-G-E, and we pronounce it foliage. When you're living under this roof, you're going to pronounce it and spell it that way. So that was very interesting, actually. The first part, that, foliage, even though it follows the I-A-G-E spelling, similar to carriage and marriage, those are not pronounced carriage and marriage, although I think we should start saying those that way now. Interesting. Maybe foliage should be more accurate. What do you think? This is, I could get some interesting responses here. Maybe it's 50-50. I don't know. What do you think? I, personally, like to say foliage because that is what my parents taught me. They said, when you're under this roof, when you're living with us, and even when you're not living with us, you shall pronounce it foliage. We're a 3-syllable foliage household. All right, let's make another crazy, stupid sound effect. Don't know what that's a Foley sound for. Now we have foliage plant. Noun from 1862. A plant grown primarily for its decorative foliage. We don't care about the plant at all, but this plant has the most decorative foliage out there. The foliage is so beautiful. It's got speckles and sometimes polka dots and stripes in different colors, and it sometimes even gives you food. All right, another one. Next is foliar. Foliar, F-O-L-I-A-R. It's a faux liar. Adjective from circa 1859. This is of, relating to, or applied to leaves. As in, foliar sprays. Also, foliar diseases. Anything that's kind of connected to leaves. The leaves have the disease. They got a leaf disease, and so it's a foliar disease. And then also the sprays that you're putting on the leaves to maybe to avoid some of those foliar diseases or to make them just look nice. Those are, maybe they're getting a spray tan, a foliar spray tan. It's foliar. Yep, it's all about the word leaf again. And I think the rest of our words are probably very leafy again. Let's make another sound. It's going to be... Next is foliate. Foliate. You could also say foliate if you want. This is the adjective from circa 1658. It looks like the 1600s. I'm seeing a number. Well, there's some 15s, some 18s. But yeah, these last few are in the 1600s. That was when they were really talking about leaves and foliage-related words. So foliate or foliate, number 1, shaped like a leaf, as in a foliate sponge. Foliate sponge. Is this the actual sponge that's living in the water? And are they shaped like a leaf? I don't know how often sponges are shaped like leaves. Maybe if I go like this, somehow I am a foliate person. Next, number 2, for foliate or foliate, the synonym is foliated, which is our next word. But yes, this is from the Latin foliatus, which means leafy, from folium, which means leaf, and there's more at the word blade. So now, let's make up some other crazy, stupid sound. The options are endless, literally endless. Now we have foliated, adjective from 1650. Number 1, composed of or separable into layers. As in a foliated rock. So the rock is composed of different layers. Yes, as we actually talked about in the previous episode with the word fold, there's, all the stuff gets collapsed down. It falls from the sky and it gets collapsed down and rock is created, and it's often in different layers. And so when you break a rock in two, sometimes you might see, depending on the rock and the location, you might see some layers. Number 2, for foliated, it is ornamented with foils or a leaf design. And which foil are we talking about? Let's see. Well, there was the architectural foil. Probably not the trample or the frustrate or the defeat ones. Let's see. Anything else? There's the sword. I mean, yes, I guess it could be decorated with the sword. But yes, it's probably the building is decorated with the foils, which are indentation between cusps in Gothic tracery or one of several arcs that enclose a complex figure. So yes, if it's got those, it's foliated. See, now here's the thing. We went from foil to Foley. So we're swapping the letters again. Interesting. But also, it has a leaf design, and that one fits with this spelling. All right, our last one. What is the sound effect that Spencer can come up with? Boom, da, boom, boom, bra. What is this? Doing a Foley for a drum? Okay, now we have the word foliation. Foliation, noun from circa 1623. Number 1A, the process of forming into a leaf. Maybe the tiny little thing that's growing. It is going through foliation because it is turning into a leaf. It's a tiny little bud, and then it becomes a leaf. Number 1B, the state of being in leaf. Whoa, the state of being in leaf. Well, I have a foliation. I am in the state of being in leaf. I am a leaf on a tree. Number 1C, the synonym is vernation. I do not know that word. Number 2, the numbering of the leaves of a manuscript or early printed book. Well, yeah, so like a book, these are kind of like the leaves. The pages are like the leaves. And so the numbering of the leaves is the foliation. This seems very, very old. Number 3A, we gotta flip the page. Ornamentation with foliage. So if a building has foliage ornamentation, it has foliation. Number 3B, a decoration resembling a leaf is foliation. It's very clear. You know these things by now. Number 4, the enrichment of an opening by foils. The enrichment of an opening by foils. Now, is that an opening arch? Because I believe it was foil. Yes, foiled, ornamented with foils, right? The foiled arch it has been enriched with the foils, which are the like half circle kind of things. And then number 5, foliated texture. Foliated texture, I assume, is maybe a layered texture or something that has leaves. And with that, now, I must pick a word of the episode. Today we had fold, fold away, fold boat, folder, folderol, folding, folding money, fold out, Foley, foliaceous, foliage, foliage plant, foliar, foliate, foliated, and foliation. Woo-wee! I'm debating between Foley and folderol. Which one do you like? Or do you like a different one? I don't know. I guess Foley, but folderol is so fun to say. I'm making sounds in my Foley studio. I'm making sounds for folderol. It's all just nonsense. Okay, that's it. I don't have another movie to tell you about. What did we watch yesterday? We watched some Falderall, I think. Yeah, that's it. All right, this is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for checking it out. Check out the show notes if you want to contact me. There is information there. You can call a number and leave a voicemail, and I'll put it in an episode if you're okay with that. Emails, social media, all those things. And there is video if you didn't know. You can watch this whole thing on my YouTube channel. Please go do that. Just let the playlists play in the background forever. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.